everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is DJ Mark. I'm a wedding DJ and entrepreneur here in Central Florida, and I am excited to share with you guys my new ceremony mixer and take a deep dive into what exactly it takes to run a ceremony from a DJ's perspective. I know a bunch of you viewers have been asking about this lately, so I am super excited to share my knowledge with you, and I am going to pack tons of it into this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the time lapse. Let's go. What is going on, everybody? It is Studio DJ Mark here, editing this video, and right at this moment I realized that I did not record 4.5 or so parts of the script, which I did painstakingly write in preparation for this event. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read them now, and I'll just cut in to some B-roll as we read together, and it should work out the way that it's supposed to, hopefully. All right, now here are a few quick tips and tricks that will help you nail the ceremony part of the wedding. Sound checks. Always do a sound check before the guests arrive. Walk around the venue to ensure the audio is clear and there are no dead spots or anything like that that makes it so that it's hard for you to be heard. Coordinate with the officiant. Make sure that you meet with the officiant beforehand. Give them a little powwow, a pep talk on the mic. Give them the 30-second mic crash course that I just talked about a second ago. Tell that to the officiant. You should be good to go. Make sure that they know exactly when and where they'll need the microphone and how to use it and what to do with it during the kiss and any sort of special ceremonies, things like that. Music cues, that's another one. Have your music cues well prepared. Know exactly when you're going to start and stop the music, and practice the cues once or twice if possible. It doesn't take very long to do so, so you might as well do that. If you use a whole controller or any sort of a mixer, you can set cue points in your DJ software. Or if you're like me, most people start at the beginning of the song anyway for the ceremony. And if that's the case, you can just hit play from your Spotify or any sort of music playing application that you have on your tablet. Lastly but not leastly, in here we've got volume control. Volume control. Keep an eye on the volume. It should be loud enough for everyone to hear, but not overpowering. Adjust according to the size of the crowd and the acoustics of the venue, the room. If you're outside, you're gonna have to turn it up a little bit more than you would if you were inside somewhere. Also, if you're inside, it might be a little bit echoey. So when you do your mic check and your music checks, see if you can ring that out with your mixer, which, yeah, okay. So hopefully, now that we're back, we're here. We're moving on now to the announcements, which is coming right here in a second. Or maybe we just did those. I don't know anymore. I'm just gonna record this and splice it, and cut it in to make it fit. So hopefully it works out. All right. I always use high quality speakers to ensure clear sound. Today we're using the Bose S1 Pro speaker. Make sure when you position your speakers, you do that strategically to cover the entire ceremony area without being too obtrusive if possible. I prefer to have the speaker placed towards the front and pointed in the same direction as the officiant is speaking, aka towards the guests. My mixer is actually a new addition to the ceremony rig, and today is its maiden voyage. I've been wanting to add a third microphone to the ceremony rig for a while now, but since I'm aiming for an all battery powered setup, it's hard pressed to find a battery powered mixer that'll do the job. This is the Mackie Mobile Mix. DJ Rick Webb actually mentioned this device on a recent video of his, and it looked to be exactly what I hadn't been looking for. I guess we'll know at the end of this ceremony if I was right or not. All right, for my setup, I run a total of 3 microphones usually. 2 wireless lavalier microphones, 1 on the groom right here, and 1 usually taped to the arc or saved for guest speakers. In this case, we've got it taped to the arc, of course. These ones are just a couple of Amazon special microphones I got to test with, but it's actually been really impressive in the last 8 or 10 months or so I've been using them. We also run a wired microphone on a stand for the officiant. This one is the Shure Beta 58. It's a real workhorse and a good quality microphone overall. Ceremonies, I use my Android tablet that just runs Spotify with the music downloaded onto it, so there are no issues with cell service, streaming, or whatever else. It's Bluetooth to the mixer, however, we also have a wire connection ready to go as well in case of dropouts. Remember, folks, backups on backups on backups when you're doing something as imperative as a wedding ceremony. So in addition to the wired microphone on the stand, which we mentioned just a few minutes ago, we've also got extra cables, extra extension cords, anything we would need to save the day in case something goes wrong. Next up, we are gonna go ahead and go through all the sound checks that we need to go through and any sort of announcements, things like that. So. All right, friends and family, if I could have your attention please for just a moment. We are about to get ready with the ceremony and get started, but just so you know, it is the wish of the bride and groom that this be what's known as a silent ceremony. And that means make sure you put your phone on silent. That way we don't get any rings or chimes or anything like that while the ceremony is going on. We do ask that you're all present and in the moment, but of course feel free to take pictures and videos, whatever you need to, as long as your phone's on silent. All right, we're gonna get started here in just a moment. Yay, wedding. Yay! Announcements. As a wedding DJ, especially someone who is emceeing ceremony, you may be asked from time to time to make a few announcements, like please be seated, it's time to get started, please silence your cell phones, cocktail hour and hors d'oeuvres underneath the patio, things like that. All those things, it's important that you show that you are professional and you can do it properly when you do so. So, okay, here it is. Here is my 30-second crash course on how to use a microphone correctly. Number one, treat it like an ice cream cone. Hold it right up here to your chin, maybe a fist or two, 4 or 5 inches away at the most, and speak. When you speak, the microphone is there to assist you, not do it for you. So you gotta project a little bit. It's helpful to imagine talking to someone 20 feet away as if I didn't have the mic. The other thing that's important is that you speak with good diction and at a correct speed. You don't want to go too fast, because when you talk too fast, you can't really understand what people say. Same thing with too slow. It's not very welcoming and kind of hard for people to pay attention to what you're trying to tell them. And what you're trying to tell them is very important. Lastly but not leastly, or when you do announcements, you need to speak on the microphone that the officiant is going to use. Number one, it shows the guests where they need to be looking, because the number two is it shows the guests the volume that the mic is supposed to be at, because you know how to use your microphone and it's at a proper volume. You should be able to speak so that everyone can hear you clearly. That way, if when it gets into the ceremony, the person they have officiating isn't a professional or doesn't quite have as good of mic etiquette as you do, they know that the mic works. And it's not necessarily something that you can fix other than cranking the gain as much as you can. So it's important to show that the mic is working when you start. This is a crazy thing. I've had ceremonies start and the first thing the officiant do is take the mic and set it off to the side out of the way. Guests could not hear a single thing. He did not use the microphone at all. And because I made the announcement at the beginning on the microphone, guests knew that there was a microphone and there was supposed to be one. And since he didn't use it, that's why they couldn't hear. It wasn't something that the DJ or the sound guy is doing. So that's important.
Please rise. In 100 worlds I'd find you. Amazing journey. On April 19th, Eric proposed to Marie. And with that, it's time for everyone's favorite part. But let's try to keep it PG-13. Eric, you may now kiss your bride. Mr. and Mrs. Audette.
All right, so there you have it. When performing a ceremony as a DJ, your goal is to make everything as seamless as possible and while trying to intrude as little as possible. If you are running ceremony for a wedding and you're also the reception DJ, it's also a good time to sprinkle in just a little bit of fun, as long as it's okay with your bride and groom, of course. That way the guests know kind of what to expect as they move on to the reception and the party, when you're actually there to have a good time and get everyone, you know, excited and dancing. So about the Mackie Mobile mix, that mixer is pretty great. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. It has all the channels that I need, and it also has the Bluetooth, which is solid and rock steady all the way through. which was fantastic. It had nice volume and gain, and I did notice that as opposed to just plugging straight into the Bose speaker, that the mics, everything had just a little bit more headroom. So I was actually using less gain than I normally would and less volume than I normally would, because that mobile mix pushing out a little bit more than just right into the Bose speaker in and of itself, which is fantastic. So I think that overall this was a 5-star event. This is a 10 out of 10 as ceremonies go. No hiccups. And I think if I were to do anything better or anything different to improve the ceremony setup, is I think I need to build a little box to hold the mixer and stuff. The clamp that I have and use, which you saw in the video clips when we were explaining, works great and it is good, but I personally would like to have a little spot to set my clipboard. Otherwise, it's a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna go ahead and head home. Hey, listen guys, if you found this video helpful, could you do me a huge favor? Subscribe to the channel down below. Just hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and like the video if you don't mind. I really appreciate it. I put a lot of time and effort thinking about these videos for you guys, and we release them relatively regularly. So if you wouldn't mind, that'd be awesome. Also, don't forget to leave me a comment below. Let me know what you want to see next. I've got a couple more videos planned in the near future. One of them is actually going to be a deep dive into all the paperwork for weddings in general, whether it's the contract or the ceremony, or even doing our final meeting with your potential clients, or with your clients rather. But I'm always available and ready to hear your input. Let me know what you want to know about. I'll be happy to show you.